Hello again and welcome to Glass with a Class. I'm June Anderson and I'm always game for talking depression glass. So here we go. I promised you last time that we would look again at a reproduction problem. It's a pity that some people like to collect depression glass but end up being burned by someone who either doesn't know they're selling a repro or they know it and hope you won't notice. Today let's look at the beautiful avocado or sweet pear pattern from Indiana Glass Company, which manufactured it in the decade 1923 to 1933. It has those two names, avocado and sweet pear, because sometimes it looks like an avocado and sometimes it looks like a pear. And so sometimes people call it one and sometimes the other. I do that too. Here are my avocado and sweet pear creamer and sugar. You may remember them from a few weeks ago when we looked at them under a black light and they glowed because of the uranium content. They're some of my prized pieces of glass simply because I think they're so pretty, not because they're worth a lot of money. This time Indiana tried to fool their own customers by putting out new avocado between 1974 and the 1980s. They had the decency, though, to produce colors that never existed in the original depression glass era runs. So at times it can be fairly easy to judge whether an avocado or sweet pear piece you're looking at is the real deal. However, in 1979 they did produce a picture in green, albeit not the original green, it was a darker green. Then you might see yellow, which was not among the originals. The new pink is a bit orange, so it's not too likely to be confused with the original delicate, attractive pink. All other colors were not originals. Here are a couple of Jean Florence's pictures of the fakers. See the dark picture and the frosted one, and the purple, yellow, and red? It's not that they're not pretty, they are pretty. It's just that some of us are purists and only want true depression glass. There, that wasn't too hard, was it? Some patterns that have been reproduced are a bit more involved when it comes to detecting an imposter among the real McCoys. We'll plan to look at one of those down the road sometime. Now for the class portion of Glass with a Class. Another one-word focus today. It's probably not completely fair to choose this word because it sort of has a Latin flair. Still, it's a word pretty commonly used in the United States. The word is versus, and it means against. You know, UGA versus FSU. In sports, it usually means one team against another. In general life, it can still mean against. We're having meatloaf and potatoes versus the old reliable fried chicken and rice. And you'll see it written with just a lowercase v in sports and in legal documents. UGA v. FSU, or New York City v. John Doe. The real problem comes in the pronunciation. It's pronounced versus, but many times you'll hear verses or verse. Well, it has nothing to do with verses of a song or a poem. It's just versus, and it means against. It's not New York City versus John Doe or New York City versus John Doe. It's New York City versus John Doe. Our Bible verse today doesn't include versus, but I found false prophet in the Bible, which goes along with our imposter theme today. Here's the verse. Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. Well, we've solved another English problem, as well as another depression glass reproduction problem. I hope you've learned something you didn't know and will come back again to see what else we have going on. Hint, it has to do with setting your glass down. Yes, you set your glass down. You don't sit it down. I don't know why it's just that way. God bless you and yours. Bye-bye.